I thought we had stretches in that game where we played really good basketball, and we had some stretches where we got into lulls and we couldn't score. And then when that happened, Robert Morris had opportunities to push it and score, and that was because we were turning over during some of those stretches. But I thought there were some things we did a really good job of. This is Robert Morris is a team that averages about 14 offensive rebounds a game. I think they got 7 in this game. They usually get to the free throw line 20 times a game. They got their 13. And on the other end of it, we had 19 offensive rebounds. So, even though we didn't maybe score it as efficiently as we wanted to, Robert Morris is a really good defensive team. At the same time, I thought our energy and our effort was outstanding during stretches of that game.
Coach Madison had a quick 7 points.
Right.
Like those 2 points to get to 1,000 was lingering there a bit. But what was it like being her coach for that moment and being able to experience that with her? That's
a very big milestone, and certainly credit to her for the way that she has really continued to, grow and be, someone who's in attack mode, but also very willing to make an extra pass. And so, as a point guard, to score 1,000 points, that's a really impressive, honor for her, and something that our teammates are really excited. That was really cool too. In the timeout afterwards, teammates got really, really excited and kind of gave them that time to celebrate that moment, and then the locker room had a lot of fun with that. So really fun to be a part of it, and really special to be a part of it for her big day.
What did you see out of Kaya tonight? She seemed a lot more aggressive on the offensive side.
Well, I thought it started for her in hitting the offensive glass. And I thought she and Jayla did a really, really good job of doing that. And it doesn't always end up that you get the ball, and their effort continued to be really, really good. And so, I thought that Kaya's aggressiveness started from that end of things. She's been a really solid defender. She's been someone who, has been a really good passer. And tonight was someone who was a little more assertive on the offensive end for us. And we need that.
On a different team, is she able to be the same player she was in South Dakota?
Well, it certainly is different, but at the same time, she understands how to move and to screen, and that's something that takes time, honestly. And it was something she was probably the least experienced in our group at South Dakota to do that. So she was the kid that didn't do it as much and as well as some other kids who had played in the system for a little bit longer, And so now she's got to be somebody who creates for us. And I thought we had a lot of kids. I thought our movement started to get better during stretches in that game. Robert Morris is a very good defensive team. They're one of the best in the country. They're number 1 actually in the country in three-point field goal percentage. So you've got to work to break them down. And how do you do that? You got to screen. You got to move. They really do a great job of early helping and then getting back to shooters.
So specifically for Kaya, was there something in the matchup that you saw that Robert Morris does out on the perimeter to guard her?
Not necessarily something in this matchup. I think more of just getting more comfortable with it.
Coach, a few days ago you were talking about, Monday being a day to focus on
right.
your team, a lot of things defensively you were working on. Did you see any of that translate into the game?
Certainly, I thought we did. I think a couple things we saw that carried over. I thought our post defense was pretty good, and Robert Morris does a very good job of getting the ball inside. I thought our post kids did a really good job of getting around and making it very difficult to get inside. But at the same time, they also, I thought, did a really good job of helping on some baseline drives and forced some turnovers that way. And Robert Morris is a team early that kind of penetrated, and then we cut them off, and then they'd hesitate, and then they'd reattack, and then we cut them off again, and then they'd reattack a third time, and they start to get an edge. And I thought our post kids did a really good job. At the same time, I thought our ball screen defense was pretty good, and we were able to kind of switch it up with different players in the game, do it a little bit differently, and I thought our kids did a great job of communicating and then finishing plays. That's something that we work on all the time, and I thought that showed today.
40-29 game with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. You scored 14 straight to end the third. What did you see during that stretch? I think you got to the free throw line a good bit and you cashed in, which obviously helped. But what in particular went right for you to kind of open up that sizable lead?
Well, again, I think it starts with us getting stops. And then I thought we got out in transition and we moved the ball pretty well and got some good shots. Robert Morris is a good team in the respect that on the defensive end of things, they make it really tough to get early offensive looks and good sustain that offensive possession without screening, moving the ball, sharing the ball. And I thought in that stretch we were doing a really good job of post kids were rim running. We were attacking the rim with them. What that opens up then is somebody else to maybe have a different gap to attack. And so even though maybe the post kid didn't get it, they were doing something to help our offense become a little bit more efficient at that point in time. And I thought we moved the ball, we attacked really well. And when you attack really well and you get to the free throw line, good things happen for you.
Jayla's been a physical, aggressive player since
Right.
she's been at WVU. Tonight, obviously, a double-double. What's clicking for her so far this season?
Well, I thought Jayla, this is what we talked about kind of as the game she was coming out at the end, is I thought in practice this week was the best week that she has had, and I think she is someone who we rely on a great deal, and I thought she just started to be comfortable. It's hard to play basketball when you have to think all the time. It's really hard to do that. And when you can start to relax, and yet relax being she got 8 offensive rebounds, so it doesn't feel like she was relaxed, but it was almost like she was playing so hard, but yet the game was slower, and she made some good reads, and she knew when she threw one inside and they picked it off from the kid from the corner, she looked at me and I was like, good. This is good for us to see this, because now you just have to learn to make reads and not really just throw the ball where you think it's going to be open. You have to see what's going to be open, and I thought after that she did a really good job, and so I thought the game started to slow down for her a little bit.
Coach, speaking of the game slowing down, Kai said you guys have been focusing a lot on trying to move the ball more.
Right.
Obviously, still the 14 turnovers tonight. Is there like a happy medium for you of where you kind of want to get this team of there's chemistry and they're moving the ball well, but also still recognizing that they might turn it over some?
Well, I think the goal for us is to be at 12 or less per game. And there are the hardest part for us. I thought we had stretches in the game where we did a good job taking care of it, and then it seemed like it was be compounded. The stretches where we turned it over consistently. It was kind of like back-to-back turnovers. On the defensive end, we want to get back-to-back stops, but on the offensive end, we want to take care of the basketball. And it's really important after you do throw it away or turn it over to get on the next possession to make sure that you're giving yourself an opportunity to score. And so working on that, and that's it. I thought this was a good precursor game for us going into Penn State. Totally different style of defense, but again, you can't predetermine where you want the ball to go to. You have to read the defense, you have to slow down, you have to recognize and make easy passes. And when we do that, I thought we played good basketball in some stretches of that game.
The next time you line up in this building will be Big 12 play. Obviously, a lot of basketball in between, but how ready do you think your team is for conference play?
I was really pleased with what our energy level has been in this week of practice, and I thought again our aggressiveness was really good tonight, and so I think we're getting better. I know we're getting better right now, and so that's really fun to see.
Jumping back to Madison a little bit, when you first got here, what did you know about her, and what were kind of your first impressions that you can remember?
Well, I know that everybody has a lot of respect for her. I think she's someone who's done a great job of leading during the course of her career here, and someone that continues to do that. And so someone who's been incredibly coachable since we've been here, someone who wants to keep learning, and I think it's pretty neat because now when she knows, that maybe she attacked and got a little bit too deep, or she got that offensive rebound at that point in time, you're kind of in a land with a lot of tall people at that point in time. That's one where, okay, you're going to score it and attack it, but the kid walled up and didn't foul her. I thought that was a really good no call at that point in time. It was kind of like she looked over and was like, yeah, okay, I recognize, I can see it. And again, that's what's going to be important for the game to continue to slow down for all of our players. She's someone who wants, potentially to go into coaching. She wants to keep playing as long as possible and then get into coaching. So these are all really good things for her. It's fun to coach her. Awesome, thank you.
Everybody. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, where are the sweaters? Yeah, I mean, really. I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's one. That's it. Where are the rest of you guys? What are you doing?